Inside the GSIS central office in Pasay City, public service goes beyond people. It extends to paws and whiskers. Meet Ms. Dana Lopez, president of the GSIS Pets and Animal Welfare Society, or GPAWS, leading a growing volunteer movement that champions responsible pet ownership, CNVR, and compassion within government walls. Today, we share how employee volunteers are making a difference for community animals, one life at a time. I'm Rochelle Rubio, and this is The Advocates, Empowering Voices. Government Service Insurance System, or GSIS, is a state-run social insurance institution mandated to provide life insurance, retirement, and other social security benefits to government workers in the Philippines. Beyond this mandate, however, is a heart that beats for social responsibility, including a growing commitment to animal welfare. Within the walls of its central office in Pasay City roam a number of community cats. Some are highly visible, cheerfully and fearlessly greeting employees and visitors, almost like GSIS frontliners welcoming people at the door. These cats are under the care of the GSIS Pets and Animal Welfare Society, or GPAWS, headed by its president, Dana Lopez. GPAWS is an employee-led volunteer organization formed to promote responsible pet ownership, humane treatment of animals, and sustainable care for the community cats and dogs within the GSIS premises.
GSIS Pet and Animal Welfare Society is an employee-led volunteer organization within the government service insurance system. So we focus on responsible pet ownership, animal welfare, and fostering compassion within the GSIS workplace. So we are guided by Animal Welfare Act and Anti-Rabies Act, GPAWS advocates for sustainable care, accessible animal health care, and active community involvement. We envision a workplace with empathy, where we can coexist in a shared place, where the community animals are 100% rabies-free and spayed and neutered, have better access to veterinary care, and are treated with dignity. So that's the main concept of our organization.
What prompted its creation? How and when did it begin? Dana walks us through the story of GPAWS, born from the quiet compassion of GSIS employees who had long been feeding and looking after the cats on their own. Eventually, these individual efforts converged into a unified advocacy, formalized into an organization committed to structured care, volunteer coordination, and long-term solutions such as spay and neuter initiatives.
GPAWS began as a small group of concerned employees within the GSIS main office who could no longer ignore yung condition ng mga community animals within the premises. So before GPAWS was formalized, the feeding was informal and unstructured. So they do it quietly, meaning the compassionate individuals. I think it started around 2001. 2002, I guess. Personally, my life back then was mostly about work. After the pandemic, when we go back to the office, I rarely had time to walk around the office premises. So that changed in 2024 after my family lost several loved ones and friends, really close friends. So after a year of grieving, I made a conscious decision to focus on my health, mental health and physical health. So I began using my break time to walk around the GSIS garden. So that's when I saw the cats. So yung itsura nila noon, sobrang payat, emaciated. Yung iba wala nang balahibo, yung iba madaming sugat. So heartbreaking. That's when I decided to feed them. I started bringing cat food during my walks. And then after a few days, I noticed na merong nagre-refill ng food bowls, no? So I realized hindi lang pala ako. So I mentioned this to my husband, who also works in GSIS. And he told me that several employees have been feeding the cats bago ako. And the realization was compassion was already there. It just needed structure. So I began sharing my thoughts with him. Sabi ko, sana merong sustainable feeding sa office. Sana lahat ng mga pusa mapakapon, ganyan-ganyan. And I was thinking more of the long-term and more organized approach. So he encouraged me and said, bakit hindi ka na lang magtayo ng club? I'm sure maraming employees ang magsusupport dun sa advocacy na yun. I was like, okay, kaya ko ba yun? Pinag-isipan ko talaga siya mabuti kasi hindi ko alam kung kaya ko yung ganun kabigat na responsibility. He connected me, may group chat sila, yung mga small group na animal lovers sa office. So he connected me with them. I drafted the bylaws. Nag-isip na ako ng pangalan. And then I personally invited people whom I believed could serve as committed officers. And then dun sa group chat, nagtanong ako, sino po dito yung willing mag-join sa GPOS? So the response was overwhelming in a good way. So maraming employees yung nag-express ng interest and support. They joined mabilis. Sobrang ganda nung response. I even heard some people saying na finally meron ng ganitong group. I think matagal na nilang gusto. So what started as a simple feeding evolved into a formalized society, advocating structured care for our community animals. It was driven by volunteers, mga employees yan, and personnel who chose compassion beyond their formal job description. Kasi ginagawa namin to, labas pa to doon sa talagang trabaho namin. Talagang pinipilit namin ipasok to while nasa office kami during our 8 to 5.
Last December, during one of their feeding and cleanup drives, around 25 volunteers and their families came together to clean the catio and feed both cats and dogs within the GSIS main office. It was more than a simple act of service. It was a reflection of shared responsibility.
Yung members over 25, mas marami. Volunteers nung I think yung December na event, 25, hindi lahat yun members, meron doon mga bago na gustong maging member. It was organized ng December, medyo holiday season na kaya hindi masyadong madami yung nakapunta, although they wanted to. We decided to renew yung membership annually para ma-filter namin yung mga talagang committed na individuals na members namin. And then, yung event last December, in-involve namin kahit hindi members, yung para sa feeding and cleaning, para ma-feel din nila yung pakiramdam, yung fulfilling na pakiramdam ng pag-join sa ganitong meaningful na event. Kasi naranasan nilang magpakain, nakita nila yung condition ng mga animals firsthand. And nandun na sila mag-start na ma-inspire to do the same.
Forming an organization like GPOS within a government agency is one thing. Sustaining it is another. It requires hard work, determination, and creativity. Resources must be pooled, schedules must align, policies must be respected. And through it all, the balance between workplace operations and animal welfare must be carefully maintained.
Pero doable yan. Kailangan lang talaga ng hard work and lakas ng loob. Because maybe that's the reason why hindi siya nagawa before kahit gusto nila. Kailangan talagang mag-make time. And yung 100% commitment. Kahit mahirap, push pa rin. There were times na parang, mahirap pala to? Ano ba itong pinasok ko? Ayoko na yata. Pero, wala eh. Wala nang there's no backing out na. Tuloy-tuloy na to. Kasi, marami ng animals na umaasa sa amin. And, it's not fair na pabayaan na lang namin ang gano'n.
Even before GPOS formally came into being, several GSIS personnel had already been consistently caring for the animals. Among them is GSIS Senior Vice President Leia Melissa De Leon, now serving as GPOS Club Advisor. Today, the group cares for more than 40 community cats and 2 community dogs within the main office, with roughly half already spayed or neutered as part of responsible population management efforts aligned with national animal welfare advocacy.
To date, we have over 40 community cats and 2 community dogs. 50% of our community animals are already spayed or neutered. Before kasi, na-reach na namin yung malapit na sa around mga 80% na. But we realize, hindi pala namin na-account lahat. Malaki kasi yung compound. So, meron pa palang mga nakatago someplace else ng GSIS na hindi namin nakikita. And then, ayun, nabuntis, tapos dumami. Kaya ngayon na binibilang namin, we monitor them. Actually, may records kami, may mga ID pictures pa yan dun sa file namin para well-documented. Kasi yung iba, hindi alam ko anong itsura, kung sinong hahanapin. So we have to do that para to identify kung sino yung mga next na ikakapon.
For Dana, this advocacy is deeply personal. Her love for animals, especially cats, led her to adopt one of the GSIS community cats named Biscuit, a sweet and well-behaved calico. She even brought Biscuit to an animal lovers walk organized by Tails, Trees, and Seas.org in Intramuros, Manila last year, extending the advocacy beyond the office walls.
Anak po siya ng isa sa mga community cats sa GSIS. Tapos may mga kapatid siya, bale 4 sila, 3 yung kapatid niya. Lahat sila nung na-discover namin merong respiratory infection. So dinala namin sa vet, ginamot namin, kaya lang hindi na naka-recover yung iba. Si Biscuit lang po yung nabuhay. And then we decided to adopt her.
Inampon ko na siya, ma'am. Sa akin na siya.
If there is one cat that best represents GPOS, Dana points to Jepoy, a ginger cat who carries himself like a main character and GSIS frontliner, greeting people as they enter the premises. Affectionately dubbed the head of the emotional support system, Jepoy connects effortlessly with both humans and fellow felines. His friendly presence and high visibility have made him the poster cat of GPOS.
I think si Jepoy yun, if there is one cat that represents GPOS. He's our beloved orange cat. Yan yung sweet and playful. Medyo pilyo pero irresistible yun. We call him head of emotional support team. Siya yung laging nag-greet sa mga tao. Isa siya sa mga sa mga frontliners namin na cats. By greeting our guests, hindi lang employees, our guests. Then he brings lightness and warmth. So na-relax yung mga tao sa office, nade-distress sila with his presence.
Because at its core, GPOS goes beyond caring for animals. It fosters a community of compassion among employees, animal lovers, and pet owners who support one another in meaningful ways. In a workplace defined by public service, this is another form of service quietly taking root.
We're doing beyond caring for community animals. We also become a support system for pet owners sa GSIS. So we help one another practicing responsible pet ownership. And sa GC namin, we really help yung mga may kailangan ng tulong. For example, meron akong extra or merong member na may extra medicine or vitamins. Mag-message lang kami, sino dito may kailangan ng ganito, kunin nyo lang sa akin. Or sino dito yung kailangan ng free coupon. We are sharing information as well So pag may nakita kami na may free coupon sa ganitong lugar, halimbawa, sinong mga taga Parañaque or Cavite, merong free coupon, ganyan, may free anti-rabies, whatever. So we share them those info. Recently may nagtatanong ng affordable but reliable na veterinary clinic. So, anong area ka? Sige, dito, itry mo. So, yung share ng experiences and knowledge, it really helps our members. Even yung kapag merong nawawala ng pet, syempre masakit yun as pet owners. So, mag-share sila doon na nawala na si ganito, yung baby ko. Nandun kami for them. We know yung feeling kapag nawawalan tayo ng mga pets. Yun yung ginagawa namin sa club. Tulungan talaga siya. Emotional support group, parang ganon.
Who manages the cat's daily needs, such as feeding, veterinary visits, and monitoring? Are these handled by dedicated staff or employee volunteers?
Nung simula, employee volunteers. Nung una nga ako lang muna. Tapos, mukhang nung magaan-gaan pa yung schedule ko. Tapos nung hindi na kaya, kumuha kami ng volunteers. Like, Monday to Friday. Pero kasi, since employees kami, Mondays to Fridays lang kami pwede. Dahil ganung araw lang kami nandun. Pero kailangan nilang kumain ng Saturday, Sunday. Eventually, nakikita ng mga utility personnel namin yung ginagawa namin. They started asking questions. Interested sila to know, to learn. So we teach them paano magpainom ng vitamins, paano magpakain, kung anong oras. Kailangan same lang yung oras. Creature of habit ang mga pusa. So dapat kung ano yung oras ng kain nila, dapat araw-araw. Nag-volunteer din sila. Actually, we have 3 honorary members na mga utility personnel. Malaki yung tulong nila sa amin kasi kapag walang pasok, weekends, holidays, yan, sila nandyan to help us feed and take care of the cats. Yung dogs, nasa guard sila. So, merong barracks kasi yung mga guards namin. Nandoon sila. We just give them food, tas bahala na yung mga guards namin na magpakain sa kanila.
GPAWS is fortunate to be surrounded by a community of animal lovers within the GSIS compound. While there is no paid staff assigned exclusively for the animals, employee volunteers step up to support the advocacy in various ways. They help monitor several feeding stations across the premises, ensuring that no cat goes hungry and that any health or safety concerns are immediately reported to the group for proper action.
Yung mga guards and utility personnel, grabe, sobrang malaki yung pasasalamat namin sa kanila. Sila yung unang nagre-report kapag merong may sakit. Since palagi kasi silang nandun, so nakikita nila kapag merong may sipon, kung sino yung matamlay, kapag wala na yung food, wala nang laman yung food bowl. So, yan, nagko-coordinate na kami, wala nang food sa ganito, kailangan ng i-refill, para, to make sure na hindi magugutom yung mga animals. Kasi marami din kaming feeding stations. And minsan yung iba medyo malayo, so hindi mayat-mayang napupuntahan. So yung mga guards yung nalang yung nagsasabi sa amin, paubos na po or ubos na, and then magra-rounds na kami para mag-refill, ganon.
The real challenge arises during emergency cases when a cat needs to be rushed to the veterinarian. In those critical moments, whoever is off duty or on break steps in to bring the animal to the clinic, ensuring that urgent care is not delayed.
So sino yung free ang schedule, meron kasi talagang days na sobrang busy. Ako yung magdadala, buti na lang mabait yung boss ko. Kapag wala naman akong task na urgent or wala naman akong pending and break time, yung may malapit na vet clinic, dinadala namin doon. Magpapaschedule na kami niyan bago kami umalis. And then, dadali na namin yung mga cats or yung cat na need ng veterinary care. Before kasi, meron kaming na-invite na vet na nagpunta sa office to administer antibiotics sa mga may sakit and mag-deworm. Kaya lang, yung ganun kasing home service, medyo pricey din siya. Yung funding kasi namin, coming from employees lang naman din. Mostly donations, sponsorship. We decided na, sige, manap kami ng actually recommended ni Pretzel's Place, si Miss Jingay. No, even nung pandemic kasi, nag-start na siya mag-feed ng mga cats sa GSIS. And she's been really great, super helpful, super thankful ako sa kanya. Sinuggest na itong isang vet clinic where yung fees are, affordable and reliable. So, doon namin dinadala.
The importance of having a veterinary partner.
It pays na meron talagang partnership, collaboration with other animal welfare organization or individuals. Kasi marami kaming natututunan, at the same time may natututunan din sila from us. So yung exchange ng experiences and knowledge, sobrang malaking tulong yan sa amin.
GPAS conceptualized and designed a catio, which was later fabricated by the agency's Building Maintenance Department, or BMD. Through the combined efforts of volunteers and members who contributed funds, along with the skilled labor provided by BMD, a safe and functional cat house for the GSIS community cats was built at minimal cost. It was Bayanihan in action, a collective effort in service of the voiceless animals within the GSIS compound.
Medyo malaking catio siya. We designed it, nag-ambag-ambagan kami, so through donations, members, non-members, mga employees na gusto mag-donate, nag-donate sila for the catio. So yung materials, binili namin using donations. Binild siya ng BMD namin. Nakatipid kami kasi wala nang labor. Materials lang. Tapos yung mga ibang materials na meron na dun sa warehouse namin, yun na lang din yung ginamit.
Dana expresses deep gratitude to GSIS management for its support of the advocacy, recognizing that it uplifts not only the community animals but also the employees who share the workplace with them.
I'm very grateful na super supportive yung GSIS management sa GPOS. Gusto rin nila yung project. Actually, mas maganda ngayon kasi we can house the cats there kapag may event. And kasi kapag may event sa office, kahit yung pavilion namin na outdoors, pag madaming tao, nadidisturb yung mga cats. And then meron kasing habang naglalaro sila, bawa basketball or pickleball, pwede kasing matapakan sila, ma-injure. Hindi lang yung cats, but also the employees. So, nung una ang ginagawa namin, nilalagay namin doon kapag may mga events. And then, nung mga nakita na namin na yung mga juvenile, pwede nang ilagay doon. Syempre, hindi pa sila kapon. Nilagay namin lahat ng hindi kapon and hindi pa fully vaccinated doon. So, we monitor them hanggang sa time na for them na makapon. So, yung mga cats naman namin sa office ay free roaming. Hindi lahat nakakulong. May tent kami with 3 cat houses. These are for nursing mama cats and their kittens. So, yung mga sobrang liliit pa, nandun sila para safe sila. So, yun yung purpose ng mga catio tsaka cat houses.
Dana also revealed some of their upcoming initiatives for the community animals, including a Kapon drive and, eventually, an adoption campaign. As advocates of Catch, Neuter, Vaccinate, and Return, or CNVR, GPAS is committed to ensuring that the animals are not only regularly fed, but also healthy and protected. In time, they hope to see more of these community cats and dogs rehomed and are given the chance to experience what it means to belong to a family of their own.
Magkakaroon kami we organized low-cost kapon. We do this annually. This year, kami yung mag-spearhead nung low-cost kapon in partnership with Pet Partners Philippines. Makakapon na yung mga nasa catio. Pag magaling na sila, pipicture na sila. Magkakaroon sila ng photoshoot kasi ipapa-adopt na namin sila. So, yon. Kaya kailangan maganda yung mga pictures.
Last year, GPAS initiated a Kapon and anti-rabies vaccination drive within the GSIS compound. The spay and neuter procedures were carried out by the Stray Neuter Project, while the free anti-rabies vaccinations were administered by the Pasay City Veterinary Office. The initiative was open to GSIS employees and community animals alike, reinforcing a culture of shared responsibility. This year, GPAWS is partnering with Pet Partner Philippines for its upcoming Kapon Drive. Pet Partner Philippines is led by Dr. Glenn Albert G. Almera, more widely known as Doc Gab, a veterinarian who advocates for accessible and low-cost animal healthcare, including spay and neuter procedures and vaccination services for communities.
Last year kasi iba yung partner namin. Yun. But this year it's Doc Gab.
Having the cats adopted is crucial not only for the well-being of these feline residents, but also for the long-term sustainability of GPAWS. Adopting community cats in the Philippines helps ease overcrowding in open spaces and reduces the risks they face outdoors, from accidents to illness and abandonment. A home environment provides consistent nutrition, regular vet care, and protection from extreme weather conditions. It also supports responsible pet ownership and complements CNVR efforts by preventing further uncontrolled breeding. For the adopting family, the benefits are just as meaningful. Community cats are often resilient, adaptable, and highly affectionate once given stability and trust. Adoption also helps shift public perception, proving that Aspins and Puspin community animals is just as deserving of love and lifelong care. However, not all cats are up for adoption. Jepoy, the beloved ginger cat known as the head of emotional support team, is not up for adoption. As the unofficial greeter of the GSIS premises and a familiar presence to employees and visitors alike, Jepoy remains part of the community he has come to represent.
We started last year lang, for context. We started a club March. Started meaning we established it, na binuo yung with bylaws and members. But we got accredited ng July last year kasi nag-amend ng guidelines si Medical and Wellness Services Department namin. So when we got accredited ng July, since then, mga 4 cats yung napa-adopt namin. We have screening forms to ensure na talagang maalagaan yung cats, na hindi pababayaan, hindi i-abandon kapag hindi na kaya. We have to gauge yung level of commitment nila. Kung ito ba talaga yung gusto nila. May interview yon, hindi lang yung form. And then, we have to make sure na pwede pa namin silang makontak para sa updates kung kamusta na yung in-adopt nila, kung nag-improve ba. Kasi kung hindi, kukunin na lang namin ulit. So, yung mga ganon, kailangan pa rin ng monitoring. Right now, kasi hindi pa namin talaga siya napopost actively yung mga for adoption. No? So kahit hindi, last year kahit hindi pa ganun ka-active, meron ng mga willing mag-adopt. Meron nang nag-express ng interest na mag-adopt. Kaso ang nakikita nila yung mga nasa harap lang, yung mga frontliners namin. So we have 3 frontliners, si Jepoy, si Kitty, and si Megatron. Si Jepoy yung marami talagang admirers. Jepoy is not up for adoption kasi. But we want to show them na meron pa. Marami pa kami na pwedeng i-adopt. Marami silang pwedeng pagpilian. So yun yung next project namin for this year, na ayusin yung profiles ng mga up for adoption ng mga cats namin after their yung kapon and vaccination.
Considering that GPAWS was accredited as an official organization only last year, the group has already made significant strides. To date, 50% of their cat population has been spayed or neutered, and 4 of their community cats have found their forever homes. Beyond direct animal care, the club has also rolled out information campaigns within the compound, installing animal safety signages that promote responsible behavior toward animals, and raising awareness about the Animal Welfare Act of the Philippines. These include clear reminders and warnings against animal cruelty, reinforcing that compassion and accountability go hand in hand.
One of our accomplishments is putting up animal safety signages. Mananotice nyo sa mga entrances namin, meron kami doon ng speed limit and then yung caution para to slow down para sa mga animals. Before, walang ganon. So, nag-request kami sa building management department namin if we can do that. Kasi every initiative namin, we have to make sure na we follow yung protocols na sa office. we have to be responsible as well. Nagpapaalam kami, in-approve naman nila since supportive naman sila sa amin since day one. Meron din kami sa parking entrances. We have employees parking and executive parking entrances na meron din tong mga signages. Recently, last month, nagpagawa kami ng animal welfare notice. So basically, it says all animals within the GSIS premises are under GPOS care. And any form of animal abuse or cruelty is prohibited and punishable by law. We all know that. We have to put that up doon sa garden area and sa likod na parking namin. Meron kasi kaming incident last year na may nag-report na may dalawa kaming pusa na mukhang yung sugat nila looks like yung nabanlian or binanlian ng tubig. So paltos na sa likod, natanggal yung fur. Kita mo na lapnos. I asked a veterinarian to check if tama yung hinala namin. And sabi nga niya na, yeah, it looks like nabanlian or yung makina ng yung sa motor, yung sa tambucho, ganun. Something like that. Since walang CCTV dun sa area kung saan nangyari kasi hindi makita na nangyari yon and kung sino yung gumawa or kung paano nangyari, wala kaming mare-report. So we have to put na lang yung ganong signages as a warning na kapag kasi sinaktan nyo yung mga animals sa office, hindi yun namin ito-tolerate. Wala pa naman kaming nakikita na yung talagang na-witness namin na we have to report. Wala pa naman. Well, thankfully.
As a government institution, what challenges did they face in formalizing an animal welfare program?
Sa part namin, hindi naging mahirap for us to formalize this group. To give you an idea, ang nag-a-approve ng mga clubs ay yung medical and wellness services department namin. And sila mismo, supportive sila dito sa club na to. And then lahat ng initiatives namin or programs, they know muna. Ipinapasa namin sa kanila. And then, susuportahan nila kami. Tutulungan nila kami to reach out sa iba't ibang offices or departments para mag-materialize yung mga plano namin. And even yung General Services Office namin, Security Department, Building Management Department, lahat sila supportive sa ginagawa namin. So, hindi kami nahirapan sa part na yon. Siguro, may mga employees, hindi ko naman mapiplease lahat. May mga hindi into this. May mga ilan-ilan. Pero ganun talaga, kahit saan meron. And we respect that kung hindi ito yung thing nila. As long as hindi sila nagiging hinder dun sa mga programs ng club and dun sa advocacy namin. But so far, majority ng GSIS supportive. And I'm happy about it. Swerte kami in a way na ganun yung GSIS. Siguro kung meron mang challenges or challenge, ang nakikita ko, this is common sa lahat ng animal welfare groups or organizations, yung funding. Since we are new, inaaral pa namin, yun yung naging unang mabigat na challenge, yung source of funding. But yun nga, with the help of BSP Law, nung meeting namin, yung exchange ng ideas, nagkaroon kami ng idea kung paano nila ginagawa. And then, ngayon, nakapag-meeting kami ng club, we're excited kasi meron na kaming committee na, nagbuo kami ng committee na, or subcommittee na in charge sa fundraising and events activities. Yun. Hopefully this year, mas madami kaming, or mas strengthen namin yung side na yon para ma-support namin yung mga initiatives na.
Veterinary care accounts for one of the largest portions of the group's budget, often consuming the biggest share of its limited resources.
Hindi naman free kasi yun. Kailangan din nilang kumita. So, I understand yung side na yon ng, ng, na ang veterinary care talaga, isa talaga yan dun sa mabibigat na pagkakagastusan ng ganitong organization. Aside dun sa food. Kaya nga importante na we have to find yung magiging partners na masusupport kami doon sa mga goals namin na hindi magiging mahirap for us. Kasi like yung mga emergency nga eh. So hindi mo masasabi kung mag-aalat ako ng ganitong money para sa emergency. Minsan kulang pa yon. Hindi mo masasabi kung ano yung ano pala yung condition nila, doon mo na lang malalaman kapag nasa vet ka na. And then you will realize na this is not enough. We need more. Ang kaigihan naman sa club, kapag sinabi namin na we don't have enough funds to support yung vet care ni, halimbawa ni Jepoy, kung sinong may extra, please donate, ganyan. Mabilis lang yan. Magsasend na sila ng donations. Tulungan talaga. Parang bayanihan ang dating. Ganun. Kahit hindi members, pag nalaman nila na, uy, may katayong may sakit, here, magdodonate ako, ganun. Nakakatuwa. Maraming may gusto. No? Maraming happy na nagkaroon ng ganitong group and maraming gustong tumulong.
From Dana's perspective, what concrete measures can the government implement to meaningfully reduce the stray animal population and curb cases of animal cruelty nationwide?
Ang kailangan natin ma-institutionalize yung nationwide na TNVR. May cost din kasi yun eh. Ang hirap iasa lang yun sa mga grupo-grupo. Hirap din silang kumuha ng pondo. So kung magkakaroon yung government ng budget for this, ito talaga yung solution eh. Hindi yung i-round up sila at dadalhin sa pound. Kapag nawala na yung cat sa area, mapapalitan lang din yun ng bago. Tapos dadami ulit sila kasi hindi sila kapon. So what we can do, ikapon mo lahat, tapos ibalik mo sila doon, and then yung mga cats or animals doon, they will protect their territory. So hindi na yan papasukin ng ibang mga animals na hindi taga ron. So, mamamanage mo yung population talaga. Actually, yun yung solution. I hope na ma-realize yun ng government and mag-allot sila ng budget for that. Kung pwede, yung mga subsidized spay neuter services, kasi merong mga pet owners na hindi naman ganun kalaki ang income. So, kapag sa clinic nila dadalhin, medyo mahal. So, masaya ako na merong mga low-cost capon drives. Pero minsan kasi kailangan na agad eh. Hindi na makakapaghintay. So, kung merong ganon clinic or group, institution yung government na makakapag-provide ng subsidized spay neuter. Also, yung strict enforcement ng anti-cruelty sa animals. Okay naman yung batas, pero hindi natin na-enforce strictly, no? Bali, wala siya pag ganun. Papel lang. So I hope na, I know that they're working hard right now to improve or strengthen the Animal Welfare Act. But I do hope na ma-enforce siya properly. And yung pet registration and responsible pet ownership, importante din yun. Yung iba kasi kuha lang ng kuha eh. ng pets. But hindi nila din ginigauge yung capacity nila to take care of them. Minsan pa yung animals din yung nagsasuffer kasi hindi na pala kaya ng pet owner. So nako-compromise yung quality of life nila. So importante talaga yung responsible pet ownership. And sana integrate nila to sa schools, sa mga bata. I mean, ituro ito ng mas maaga. Kasi kapag napalaki yung mga bata na may compassion, yung magiging impact niyan paglaki nila will be very positive and beneficial for all animals. Solution talaga is to change yung culture. Yung change yung culture ng animals ay hindi kasing importante ng tao. We are all important, and animals deserve to be treated with respect and dignity as well. Yeah, so yun yung mga dreams ko. I hope na mangyari. We coexist in one space sa Earth. So, importante din sila.
Public awareness on animal welfare in the country is gaining ground, reaching even public servants who are now pushing for stronger and more responsive legislation. But the road to lasting protection and justice for all animals nationwide remains long.
It's an improvement. Pag kinompare natin before, malaking improvement na to actually, but we can do more.
Dana closes with a heartfelt message on responsible pet ownership and animal welfare, emphasizing that compassion for animals is not optional, but both a moral and legal responsibility. She underscores that the way we treat animals reflects who we are and the kind of society we choose to build.
Animal welfare is not just about animals, no. It reflects who we are as a society. So spay and neuter your pets, vaccinate them, do not abandon them, please, kahit anong mangyari. Support adoption, report cruelty, and most importantly, I guess, teach compassion at home. If a government institution like us can make space for kindness, then every community can. Compassion is not optional. Supporting animal welfare is our moral and legal responsibility. So yes, that's my final message.
From feeding stations to Capon drives and adoption efforts, GPAWS proves that compassion can thrive even in the busiest workplaces. Our sincere appreciation to Ms. Dana Lopez for opening our eyes to the work behind GPAWS and for standing firm in her commitment to animal welfare. Real public service includes compassion, and building a better society means protecting even those who cannot speak for themselves. I'm Rochelle Rubio. Join me again next Friday for another episode of The Advocates, only here on Capital 104.3.
This is where the voices of the voiceless are heard. The Advocates, Empowering Voices. Hosted by Rochelle Rubio on Capital 104.3